Guilty to 2 counts of third-degree murder in the deaths of Nicole Cuevas and Deborah Fox. Appearing in court Tuesday with the other 4 suspects, Doyle was the only one to enter a plea. All 5 are charged with the death of Nicole Cuevas, while Doyle and Desiree Lynette are also charged with the death of Deborah Fox. District Attorney Sam Sanguidolce says they have not made a final decision yet whether or not to seek capital punishment. He also says his stance remains the same following the arraignment.
Obviously, we still have 4 defendants that we intend to pursue justice against. So we have a lot of things in the works right now that could lead us to trial against 4 different defendants. So there's a lot to be done still.
The other 4 suspects charged in the House of Horrors investigation have been given 30 days for plea negotiations and a 60-day deadline. Reporting in Wilkes-Barre, Colby Hughes, 2822 News.
New information tonight about a police presence that we first broke last night in Sugarloaf Township. State police now confirming a traffic stop turned into a police shooting on West County Road. Investigators say a driver refused to stop for about 2 miles, then got out of his vehicle with a long gun and fired at a Sugarloaf Township police officer. The officer shot back, killing the 66-year-old driver. State police say the officer was not hurt.
Police in Wilkes-Barre have a man in custody who they say stabbed a woman in front of her 2 young children. It happened inside an apartment on Parkview Circle last night. Officers found the woman bleeding outside the building with her kids and rushed her to safety. Investigators say the attack started during an argument and ended with the woman pretending to pass out before running for her life with her children. She was taken to the hospital. Police arrested 28-year-old Ronald Bryant at the scene.
Charges in Pennsylvania are expected to come now for somebody accused of leading police on a chase from New York to NEPA. State police say it all began with a domestic disturbance involving gunfire this morning and turned into a high-speed pursuit right down I-81. Police eventually stopped the vehicle in Scranton. The driver was taken into custody and found to have prior convictions in New York. 2 parents in Monroe County are facing charges tonight after investigators say that drugs were found inside the house where kids lived. Nathan Ruse and Kitty and Stephanie Scalfino are now charged with child endangerment. This comes after detectives say they searched a house in Tobyhanna while the children were at school last week. Several controlled substances were found inside, including a large amount of fentanyl. Monroe County Children and Youth are now working to make sure that the children are safe.
Several local animal rescues are lending a hand after cats died in a fire in Luzerne County last week. The fire killed a woman and dozens of cats in Edwardsville. Several local fire and emergency crews responded along with area animal rescues. The Luzerne County Animal Response Team says 4 cats were transported from the scene on Friday, 3 living and 1 dead. Since then, 20 dead cats have been removed from the home, and now crews are trying to manage the feral cats the woman used to feed.
Hearing the colony had over 100 cats in it, so our goal is to TNR the colony outside.
The cats, when we get them, it's hard to determine whether they were inside or outside because they are absolutely traumatized right now.
Edwardsville Fire Department says there's no determined cause of the fire yet, but it is being ruled an accident.
A rail line connecting Scranton to New York City is moving closer to reality. State officials want people's input about it this week. Now, Connor Core was in Scranton today to hear what locals think about the potential direct connection from the Electric City to the Big Apple.
A virtual hearing is scheduled for this Thursday to gather community feedback on the proposed railroad connecting Scranton to New York City. The president of Pennsylvania's Northeast Railroad Authority says Amtrak estimates the proposed rail line could generate around $84 million annually for the region, based on similar railways. 1970 was the last year a passenger ride went from Scranton to New York City.
We've been at this for a long term, so the point that we're optimistic now is we have something that we never had.
What they have is state and federal funding. The current plan estimates the railroad would cost just under $5.5 million. 90% will be paid by federal funding, the other 10% by PennDOT. This corridor is one of 5 railways approved to move forward to step 2 of the 3-step construction process. Now, according to Malski, if construction were to begin in 2028-2029, this parking lot I'm standing in right now would be ripped up and would be the next stop for that future railroad, connecting it to the Lackawanna County transit system. But would people actually use the train service? Every person boarding this bus in Scranton to New York City gave a confident yes. Robert Harvey, a Scranton native, said he'd make his decision quickly.
I'm not sure what the seating would be like here, but It's more comfortable, you know what I mean? And sometimes they have like a food cart, and you can go there, get something to drink. It's just nicer.
If you would like to attend that virtual meeting on Thursday at 4, you can find the link to sign up on our website at 2822news.com. Reporting in Scranton, Connor Core, 2822 News.
Let's take a quick look live right now where this meeting over data centers in Hazel Township has been underway for about an hour. State officials are at Hazelton Area High School hearing from people regarding a proposed data center known as Project Hazelnut. It's the latest step in a debate that has been building for months, and we will have what was discussed at the meeting coming up for you tonight at 11.
Big decision that could shape the future of the Poconos. We'll tell you what one township just did to protect a piece of history and how the community feels about it still ahead.
Plus, if you're ready for spring, this is one of the first signs. What crews are doing today, even with ice still on the water. Josh?
Alrighty, Candace and Nick, we are tracking a round of rain and another round of winter weather. We'll time things out for you and let you know what to expect. We'll see you back here on 2822 News.
Practice lawyer.
Welcome back. A historic milestone in the Poconos as the township officially steps up to preserve a piece of the region's past.
Pocono Township has just adopted its first historical district, aligning with state and federal designations. But not everyone's on board. 2822's Heidi Martens explains the preservation effort.
Pocono Township is officially recognizing Pocono Manor as a historic district at a local level. Roughly 2,800 acres of historic land are now officially protected at the local level. Pocono Township commissioners voted to adopt the Pocono Manor Historic District, aligning local rules with state and federal preservation efforts. Township manager Jared Belvin says the goal was to get everyone on the same page.
In order for them to be able to tie any grants together or do any actual preservation, it would have to be done as a trifecta, so to speak. So Pocono Township had just recently enacted its first historical overlay.
The Pocono Manor Historic District includes roughly 5,000 acres and is one of the most significant historic landscapes in the Pocono Mountains. It recognizes not just buildings, but the entire historic landscape. The inn, established over a century ago by Quakers, helped shape the region's tourism and hospitality routes. Locals say the designation helps protect what makes the area special.
We are the Poconos. We are squirrels and deer and bear and ferns and rhododendron and creeks. And we've got to protect that at any cost.
Officials say this move protects local history while still allowing responsible development moving forward. The preservation stops at township borders. The inn extends into Tobyhanna Township and Mount Pocono Borough, where local protections have not been adopted, leaving parts of the district without safeguards. Belvin says Pocono Township can only control what falls within its jurisdiction.
We're hoping that the other two townships, Mount Pocono Borough and Tobyhanna Borough, will continue to recognize that in a historical aspect as well.
Officials say there will be no more short-term rentals allowed in the historic district. However, there was an overlay that was approved in the Tobyhanna part of Pocono Manor for a data center. No word on if or when that will go through. In Pocono Township, Heidi Martens, 2822 News.
Now to the big story today. We're 2 years after the unthinkable happened. Justice has been served.
2 men who shot and badly injured Scranton detective Kyle Gilmartin in the early morning hours of January 11, 2024, learned their punishment today. Detective Gilmartin sustained life-threatening injuries but overcame the challenges at a rehabilitation center and with lots of support from his community. Since then, he has spoken at several schools and events and is making daily improvements. 2822's Avery Nape breaks down the sentences, the scene in the courtroom, and reaction from law enforcement following the sentences.
2 men were sentenced today for their role in the 2024 shooting of Detective Kyle Gilmartin. It's been a long time coming, but finally, some closure for Gilmartin, his family, and the Scranton community. More than 2 years after being shot in the head while on duty responding to a string of shootings, Detective Kyle Gilmartin faced his attackers in court. 22-year-old Aiden Deininger was sentenced to 25 to 83 years in prison, plus 8 years of probation for pulling the trigger that night. His co-defendant, 21-year-old Jeremiah Cleveland, received 20 to 43 years.
We are happy with the sentence imposed. We're grateful that the court removed these individuals for as long as they did, but the reality is that no sentence, no matter how long, would have been good enough.
Videos from Cleveland's live stream that night captured the events leading up to the shooting. They showed him firing at 2 separate Scranton homes while bragging and laughing. His gang ties and the videos played a major role in the judge's sentence. Gilmartin and his family addressed the pair in court. He called out the, quote, stupidity of their actions and said he is praying for them.
It takes a lot to get up there and say, I'm going to pray for you. I'm going to pray for the 2 guys the one guy that shot you in the head twice.
Those involved in the case say they're glad it's over, but Gallagher says he believes a life sentence should have been considered. Pennsylvania law, however, limits a judge's ability to impose life in cases of attempted murder.
7 years at minimum for someone who shoots a cop in the head. That's asinine, and that doesn't reflect the values of our community here in Lackawanna County, and I can tell you that. It doesn't reflect the values of law enforcement.
Gilmartin is still recovering, but Gallagher says he and his family are doing well and commended them for courageously confronting the 2 who caused so much harm.
They're doing well. They're great people. The bravery it takes to get up and talk about and the emotions and what happened that night, the most horrific night of their life, is extremely difficult.
Gallagher says he is now urging the PA General Assembly to strengthen laws protecting officers following that hearing. In Scranton, Avery Nape, 2822 News.
After a brutally cold winter, some of us are dreaming of spring and summer, and a sure sign warmer days are ahead is trout stocking at local streams and lakes. Today, the Pennsylvania Fish and Boat Commission, along with volunteers, stocked Francis Slocum State Park in Kingston Township. More than 3 million trout will be placed in the streams and lakes across the Commonwealth. They also want to remind people that fishing is not permitted on lakes and streams that have already been stocked with trout until opening day.
To get the trout stocked here, we partnered with DCNR Rangers and they cut a hole in the ice for us. Our trout stocking trucks showed up and we were able to put the pipes together through the work of the stocking help and us, and we were able to get the fish into the ice.
Opening day of trout season in the Keystone State is Saturday, April 4th, with Youth Trout Day happening Saturday, March 28th.
Future Alert, Chief Meteorologist Josh Odell's up next with a check of the forecast.
But first, here's a look at what you can see on NewsNation.
NewsNation tonight. The very latest in the search for Nancy Guthrie. Brian Enton joins Leland Vittert live on the ground from Arizona. On Balance with Leland Vittert, tonight at 9/8 Central, only on NewsNation. To find NewsNation, go to newsnationnow.com.
Hilton.
Saw something today I haven't seen in a really long time.
The ground?
Yes.
I know.
Yes.
Yeah,
It's
even
nice.
A couple of birds, too.
I've been hearing some of that the last couple of days. It's like, all right, they're sensing we're getting closer to spring.
Yeah.
Now we just need to kind of permanently get into this weather, but that's not going to be the case. I would imagine a lot of ups and downs. Really through the beginning, if not middle of March. That means, one day it's mild, the next day it's cold. We got snow. Pottsville, it's 39. Wind northwest 5-10 miles an hour, not too bad. Downtown Wilkes-Barre, we're looking at a 44. Wind southwest about 5-10 miles an hour. With those dew points above freezing, we're melting that snow. Some pretty good, efficient snow melting weather. 44 Scranton, 45 in Tunkhannock, 40 Williamsport, 43 Stroudsburg, 41 in both Lehighton and Hazleton. So far, so good. Not a lot is happening right now, but I do think that's going to change a little bit overnight. After midnight towards morning, rain showers move in. Off and on rain tomorrow. Some of this will end up a bit on the heavier side, and then it's wrapping up Wednesday evening, Wednesday night. We're going to go from 30s in the morning to the low and mid 40s by later in the afternoon. So that's one storm that we're tracking. The next storm is going to get here on Friday. This one is going to have a little more winter weather with it. You see a bit of pink showing up here. We'll handle that in a second. That's going to scoot out of here Friday night into Saturday. Let's break down Friday for you. Actually, Thursday night into Friday, across the higher, across the higher elevations of Northeast PA, probably a wintry mix. A little bit of snow, sleet, freezing rain. In the valleys across northeastern Pennsylvania, a wintry mix, but looks like it will get warm enough for some rain. Central PA, probably going to be all rain here. There could be some minor snow and ice accumulations across portions of Northeast PA. We'll get into the details of this tomorrow and Thursday, but just come back for the updates. Here's your future alert weather forecast tonight. There will be some fog around again. A few rain showers after midnight, perhaps a little pocket of freezing rain, low mid 30s. Tomorrow, a lot of clouds. Off and on rain, some of it's heavy, low and mid 40s. Thursday, quiet weather. Friday, some winter weather. Actually, a mix, a wintry mix and rain. Saturday, we're quiet. Tracking the chance of snow Sunday night into Monday. And notice we want to get back to at least some cold weather initially next week. Something else to kind of keep in mind. We'll talk about two things here. A couple of things to keep in mind. One, snow melt, rain tomorrow. There could be some localized ice jams on the bigger rivers, the bigger streams. If you live along the river, you know how to handle that situation. The other thing is you're probably going to hear a lot of talk about Sunday and a Monday. We've been down this road how many times? Right. Storm track, timing, how intense is it? Plenty of time between now and then. We'll keep you posted.
Okay, thanks. District playoffs underway tonight across District 2.
Yeah, one top seed ready to make a serious run in the postseason. Nick Zelaya has more in sports.
During evaluation today.
Welcome back, everyone. Tuesday night marks the start of district basketball tournaments across District 2. Win and advance or watch your winter season come to a close. For one team in the Back Mountain area, they're eyeing a district championship for the first time since 2022. That year, Dallas went all the way to the state semifinals. The Mountaineers claimed the WVC title on Saturday and now sit as the top seed in the 4A bracket, looking to reset ahead of tonight's quarterfinal against Mid-Valley.
Well, it starts in practice. We will start practice on Monday and we keep it going. I have a safety pin that I used back in the O'Reilly days, deflate and get back at it. So I keep them humble, and that's the way we got to do it.
Tuesday, we got Mid-Valley. Definitely got to practice Monday, hard practice, and we got to get them. We got to get them to make another run.
You know, it's a big game. Keep momentum going. I think that's like 10 in a row. We just got to keep it going through districts and into states.
With a victory tonight, Dallas would advance to play the winner of Hanover and in the semis. Susquehanna has a new head football coach hailing from the University of New Haven, Chris Pinsons, who spent a decade leading the Chargers to 76 wins and 5 NCAA tournament appearances, reaching the second rounds twice. New Haven has at least won a share of its conference every single year since 2019, something the Riverhawks have become very accustomed to under Tom Perkovich, who left earlier this offseason for that Division I job at Albany. Well, the MLB is back starting Friday with the first spring training games, including the Yanks, featuring plenty of Rail Riders players for this spring, and of course former Rail Riders, including three-time MVP Aaron Judge, who can become the third player in MLB history to win 4 Most Valuable Player awards. Judge will captain Team USA in next month's World Baseball Classic, but right now it's all about getting reps in with the Yankees and entering year 5 with Aaron Boone, who had this message to his players ahead of Friday's opener.
Just a standard of being a New York Yankee, you know, what it means to play here, what it means to wear the pinstripes. You know, a lot of legends have come through this building and played here and built up this organization, and you know, they didn't do it just off of talent. You know, they put in, you know, the work they put in every single day. Excited to get back out there and just have the confidence, you know, especially that was the toughest thing for me last year, was the pitcher's working his butt off and the guys around me are working their butt off, and then a ball's hit to me and it's kind of, you know, I had no shot. So excited to get back out there and do my thing for her.
Boone said Judge will play in 4 to 5 of the Yankees' first spring training games before he leaves for the WBC on March 1st. That's all for sports. We'll be right back.
All right, got plenty of competition left at the 2026 Milan Cortina Winter Olympics. Live look from Italy, where the athletes are competing for gold and all kinds of winter sports. Hey, let's take a look at the leaderboard so far. It's been back and forth. Norway still on top with 14 gold. The U.S. with 6 gold medals and 21 medals in all. All right, there you go.
Remember, you can only watch the Olympics on WBRE. The action runs until Sunday. Plus, you can stream daily Olympic content on 2822 Now on Roku, Apple TV, and Fire TV.
Here is your Italian word of the day.
Today's Italian word of the day is fashion. Gustavo, how do you say fashion in Italian?
Moda.
Moda.
Yeah.
Fashion in Italian.
The Italian word of the day is brought to you by DePietro's Pharmacy, your hometown pharmacy. Not all pharmacies are the same, serving the community since 2012.
Thanks for watching.